In this movie, a smuggler is transporting a large quantity of cocaine via airplane when the aircraft experiences a malfunction, forcing the smuggler to take drastic measures. He gathers as many bricks of cocaine as he can and packs them into several duffel bags, hoping to parachute to safety. Unfortunately, the smuggler hits his head during his escape and tragically falls to his death. The bags of drugs, along with the smuggler's lifeless body, all fall into the Chattahoochee-Oconee National Forest. As fate would have it, a curious and hungry bear stumbles upon one of the bricks of cocaine and consumes it. The drug quickly takes effect, causing the bear to become unusually aggressive and dangerous. Olaf and Elsa, two hikers exploring the forest, encounter the bear and notice its odd behavior. While initially charmed by the creature's unusual antics, the hikers quickly become afraid when the bear turns its attention toward them and begins to approach in a threatening manner. Despite Olaf's attempt to caution Elsa not to flee from the black bear, she ignores his advice, and the bear quickly catches up with and brutally attacks her, leaving a heartbroken Olaf to witness the tragedy. Meanwhile, a drug kingpin named Sid is informed of the plane crash and the loss of his valuable merchandise. He tasks his trusted associate David with the responsibility of investigating the incident and recovering the lost drugs. Sid also insists that David take along his son Eddie, who is struggling to cope with the recent death of his wife. Sid hopes that this mission will help Eddie get back on track and find a sense of purpose. However, despite David's attempts to lift Eddie's spirits, the grieving young man remains despondent and emotionally withdrawn. Sari, a hard-working single mother, had promised her young daughter, Dee, that they would go to the forest that weekend to paint the waterfall together. However, when Sari unexpectedly decides to take Dee to Nashville instead, along with her new boyfriend, Dee puts on a brave face but feels disappointed and let down. Meanwhile, Detective Bob hears about the plane crash and the smuggler's death, quickly realizing the connection to the notorious drug kingpin Sid. Determined to investigate further, Bob leaves his brand new dog with his colleague Reba and heads off to the forest in search of clues. The following morning, Dee decides to skip school and head to the forest with her best friend Henry anyway, hoping to paint the waterfall despite her mother's change of plans. As they wander through the forest, they stumble upon a brick of cocaine and curiously decide to open it up and sample its contents. However, their actions soon attract the attention of a large, aggressive bear who begins to chase them through the woods. Meanwhile, Forest Ranger Liz is preparing for a date with local wildlife expert Peter, putting on makeup and perfume in anticipation of their meeting. However, her plans are interrupted when she encounters a local teenage troublemaker named Vest in the gift shop, who manages to talk his way out of trouble despite carrying a suspicious package. Back in the city, Sari receives a call from Dee's school, informing her that her daughter has not shown up for classes. Realizing that Dee must have sneaked off to the forest, Sari rushes to the ranger station to ask for help, interrupting Liz's flirtations with Peter. Although Liz is initially dismissive, Peter agrees to help Sari search for her daughter, and the three set off into the woods. Along the way, Liz speculates that Dee may have been kidnapped by a group of local teens who have been causing trouble in the area. Finally, drug kingpin Sid's fixer David and his son Eddie arrive at the forest, hoping to recover the lost drugs from the crashed plane. However, their plans are quickly thwarted when they are accosted by a gang of teenage muggers led by Vest, Pineytail, and Kid, who try to rob David while he is using the restroom. In a tense and dramatic turn of events, David manages to fend off the group of teenage muggers and discovers that they have been hiding a duffel bag full of cocaine at a nearby gazebo in the forest. David coerces one of the teens, Kid, into leading him and his son Eddie to the location of the drugs. Meanwhile, as Liz, Peter, and Sari explore the forest, they stumble upon a brick of cocaine and soon find themselves under attack from an aggressive bear. Liz is mauled by the bear, and Peter is torn apart, while Sari manages to evade the deadly creature. In a further tragic twist, Henry claims that he saw the bear dragging Dee away, though he insists that he did not give the animal any drugs. As Sari and Henry flee deeper into the forest, they discover a trail of paint that Dee Dee left behind in a desperate attempt to leave a breadcrumb trail for rescuers to follow. Meanwhile, at the ranger station, Liz is forced to shoot Ponytail in self-defense, and the bear breaks through a window and attacks Vest. In a parallel storyline, Detective Bob arrives at the forest and attempts to locate the hidden cocaine, while an unknown gunman lurks in the shadows. Two ambulance drivers arrive at the ranger station and are confronted with a gruesome scene, with Ponytail dead on the floor and Vest's decapitated head being gnawed on by the bear. As the situation spirals out of control, the bear pursues the ambulance carrying Liz and the EMTs, causing chaos and destruction along the way. The bear ultimately kills the second EMT and crushes Liz on the road as she is thrown from the vehicle. Meanwhile, Kid and Eddie bond during their journey to Daysville, with Kid helping Eddie come to terms with the death of his wife. In a final showdown, Bob, David, and Eddie confront the bear, who eats a brick of cocaine and then collapses on top of Eddie. Reba arrives on the scene to help Bob take control of the situation, and they ultimately manage to subdue the bear and recover the stolen drugs. The various storylines converge and come to a violent and unexpected conclusion, leaving a trail of destruction and tragedy in their wake. As the chaos and violence escalate in the forest, Dee Dee wakes up in the bear's cave, injured and disoriented. She finds herself surrounded by two bear cubs who are eating cocaine from a duffel bag that their mother brought back to the cave. Meanwhile, back at the pavilion, the bear awakens and begins to threaten everyone on the ground. Bob takes a brick of cocaine out of the duffel bag and throws it into the woods, hoping to distract the bear. However, he is shot by a mystery assailant, revealed to be drug kingpin Sid. Reba, who has been secretly working for Sid all along, reveals herself and forces the group to go deeper into the forest to recover whatever cocaine they can. As the various storylines converge, Sari, Henry, and Olaf team up to track down the bear cave and rescue Dee Dee. However, as they make their way through the forest, they stumble upon Sid and his gang, who are also searching for the hidden cocaine. A tense standoff ensues, with David and Eddie standing up to Sid and risking their own lives in the process. Before the situation can be resolved, the bear returns and launches a violent attack. Sari and the kids jump off a cliff into the water below, followed by David and Eddie. Sid shoots the bear several times, but the cocaine spills onto the animal and revives it. The bear kills Sid in a gruesome manner, tearing open his stomach and allowing her cubs to feed on his intestines. In the aftermath of the chaos, Sari and the kids reunite with David, who has been injured but is alive. Reba advises them to leave the forest and covers their tracks, while Eddie takes custody of Bob's dog and vows to turn his life around. The film ends with a chilling note of warning, as unseen hikers encounter the bear and her cubs and are attacked. The text on the screen warns that there may still be bricks of cocaine hidden in the forest to this day, suggesting that the cycle of violence and addiction may never truly end.